haven't done a monster musing in a fair bit, and I wanted to go over a certain creature, but one of my games is getting ready to encounter that. Don't give them too much of a heads up. But it's war dogs. Saw this lady calling, she named her dog DOG. Come here, DOG. Good DOG. I'm partially like, fucking seriously, and partially like, it's funny. Let me think. First of all, there's supposed to be no dogs in the park, and we have leash laws. But anyway, the war dog, the great equalizer, underutilized or not utilized at all by your players. For base camp defense, where you get jumped in the middle of the night, and you don't have time to don your armor, having a pack of war dogs to let loose on something is a godsend. Plus, if your DM uses random targets, then you have all these random creatures laying around to soak up some hits, right? That reduces the need to fudge, which I don't do. If the dice plop on my table and it says you got the unlucky stick, I'm sorry, you got hit with the unlucky stick, and sometimes that stick hurts. But the war dog, 25 gold. I do limit accessibility based on region. So if you're in an area that's fairly rural, they're not going to have war dogs available. At worst, you have to order it. And the barding kicks it down to AC 6. It's another 25 gold. That's 50 gold fee sink. Now I've had treasures discovered by the party that can be put onto animals, and sometimes they keep them, sometimes they lost. I know one of my parties lost 3 of them. They've misplaced 3 of these things to prevent the dogs from being put to sleep, and I'm not going to remind them. Hell, they may have sold those. I think they might have sold them for just the monetary appearance and not really to take the magic on them. And they sold these decorative things you put on war dogs that made them immune to sleep. Pretty handy. Maybe I'll reintroduce those. Give them a nudge. But come up players, they picked up falcons and they become falconers. And outdoors, that's great. They don't have a real means to communicate directly with the animals, but they can use them like a falconer can. Attack. Crap me. So I give them a +1 on the foraging, because a falcon would be just great +2 for small game. Falcons tear up things like rabbits and stuff. And be honest, that's what's the main game for foraging and hunting when you're traveling from point A to point B is going to be small game. And but the war dog, if they get too many, remember they're taking war dogs in the dungeon, you could reduce the overall XP by a percentage, maybe 5%, 10%. That'll keep them from getting packs of 10 or 20 dogs to cut loose on stuff. Or limited use, limited availability, I found works very well. So most of my parties have anywhere from 1 to 3 war dogs. Now, a war dog is also a normal animal. So that loyalty, that morale score I use for putting it on undead and stuff, they won't attack. They're scared of it because it's not natural. So any kind of supernatural animal, I would recommend making a morale check when you order your dogs to attack. And if they fail that morale check, they just don't. They just like a scared dog. But things like skeletons and zombies, they could tear those up. But certain types of undead that they could be sent into to distract, odds are they won't attack those. And where they are lighter than most humans and stuff, they might trigger a lot of these traps. I have a lot of players, several players who have the red shirt mentality when it comes to hirelings and retainers and stuff like that. So if they got a pack of dogs, they will send it running down a hallway just to get them killed, to see if there's any traps after they've failed a trap detection roll, which I find very meta and I don't like it. If you fail it, role play the fact that you think there's no trap. How hard is that? You're still in that I don't know, but by seeing a failed roll and going, I know there's a trap, I feel it, then you're not immersed. It's a pratfall. It's a pitfall of modern ttrpgs. You're going to have that player. I have one in each game. Here's what it is. I could crack down on it, but as long as I keep the game flowing, moving quickly. But use morale checks on your war dogs. Make availability not plentiful, and you can keep them, around 2 to 4 war dogs in a party would make sense for a mid-level party. A first level party, a mage has all that extra gold. Why wouldn't they buy 2 war dogs? Maybe 3. They're minions. Like I said, what's between you and the goblins, Mr. Wizard? 3 war dogs. I got them on guard. I dare that goblin to jump. I mean, when the goblin runs at you, you get torn down by 3 war dogs. Maybe the goblin would want to parlay after being growled out by 3 dogs who are as big as they are. So you can use them as an intimidation thing. Our police do. All you gotta do is bring a dog out. A lot of people calm the fuck down. No one wants to eat, man. No one wants to get eat up by a dog. So war dogs, I think they're an essential part of old school play, and I highly recommend using them. Don't necessarily encourage your players, but make it an option that they have access to. I've said recently a couple of times there's none available, and they've not pursued it because the barony they're in, there's no one. Listen, there's a guy who has war dogs. He's not selling them. There's a guy in town who has a pack of war dogs in Restonford. That's a good deterrence to a party of adventurers. And you can have a variety of dogs. If you have a ranger in the group who says, I got animal handling, or I'm good with animals, yeah, sure. I mean, it's cliche and kind of trope, but that is a strength, right? Maybe they can get them to re-roll those morale checks or get a +1 on morale because the animal trusts the ranger. Same thing with your elves. That's supposed to be their strength, makes them different than a regular fighter. Or a regular fighter using war dogs. Remember Conan the movie? I had a pack of war dogs when they raided the village and put the dogs on people. Run them up front. You're expendable infantry. Yeah, 25 gold's a steal, man. And it's a one-time purchase as opposed to hirely men-at-arms who have a daily wage. Want a shared treasure usually. If it's a classed NPC, they want a full shared treasure. So war dogs, use them. And tracking dogs, that's another one. Go in the thing, you find something on the ground, you pick it up, get your bloodhound on it, let's track this down. And the DM will have a hard time saying, no, you can't let the bloodhound track down the other goblins after smelling the smells goblins. It's going after them. So I know next time I play, I might go full war dog crazy, put animal handling, animal trainer as my secondary, whatever, and go war dogs. I'm a dog trainer. Gosh, such a cliche for being from Eastern Kentucky. I'm just diving into that redneck hillbilly stuff after avoiding it my whole life. Whatever. What is what it is. Well, it's such a nice day out. After you watch this video, if you're indoors and you can, go outside, touch grass, y'all.